is the Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. So make sure you're checking out the website. Please click the like and subscribe button. That helps us out. And click the notification button to let you know anytime one of these gets posted. And as I've said, on Monday and Thursday mornings whenever these get posted, I get up in the morning, I head to work. I will put the results of my algorithm for, Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football so you guys can see how good it is, how much you like it, or at least use it according to how you want to bet your prop bets. I've had a ton of success with it, and it's a predictive algorithm. It's really good. And I use that for everything, including my concrete inner circle. And hopefully some of you guys will check that out. My inner circle, it's where I can actually show everybody the big bets that I'm placing and the things that I can do. It's something I can't do on the premium side where I can grade them and let you know which ones I like the most. And I have a 10-star for Thursday night. So that's my favorite. My favorite NFL play this week is on Thursday night, and it's kind of interesting. I want to see how it works out. Obviously, when you guys are watching this, it'll be Friday morning. But with the inner circle, it's been great being able to post on there, being able to post later in the day if there's something that breaks that I like, or even let's say something happens like it did with the Ravens game last week. I have an easier way of letting everybody know, hey, this changed, so this is what we're looking at. Are we still in the same bet? Are we changing it? So definitely check it out. Text inner circle to that number there, and you can find out more. If you place big bets, I think I can definitely help you out there and put some money in your pocket. So appreciate that, guys. And just following it up with, yesterday finally wasn't my day. College football was fine. I hit my only college football play. The NBA was not kind to me. I hit two of my shootouts in a row. My shootout's going to be the game I think is going to be the highest scoring game every day. So whenever you see an NBA shootout, and I love doing totals, that's where you'll find the game that I think is going to be higher scoring. If it says total of the day, there's a chance it's an under or it's another total I like, but just not as much. It's weird. I feel weird just like naming the plays, because you're trying to think of something that's clever, and sometimes I just write whatever the damn play is. If I like the home team, it's a home team something. If it's a road team, if it's a dog, but I do kind of stay kind of uniform with my concrete best bets, my top NFL play for the week. And again, on the concrete inner circle, that's where I can change things or add things. And, as we said, we had the 3 prop bets I gave out and went 6-0 in the World Series game. I lost last night's World Series game. I was on the Dodgers. Blake Snell burned me. He got one more K and got over his total after giving 2 taters up in the first inning. And Trey Savage was just a savage, man. He was unbelievable last night. So he burned me. I bet his under Ks at plus money. His outs prop in Vegas or on your sports book was really low. Like they expected him to go 3.5 innings. I know you can't go a half, 3 1/3 or 3 2/3. I guess is what he was basically expected to do. But yeah, it was. Now we get a game 6 in Toronto where the Dodgers have to win. I'm going to talk about that game a little bit. I'm going to give you my favorite side in that game, but I am going to, give you a little bit of I'm going to have a pause here with it, just a few other things to go over. My premium play is going to be in the total in Game 6 of the World Series. I'll have some free prop bets to go along with that, as we said. Outside of this last time, where I went 1-3, I thought I went 2-2 until I looked up and said, "Oh, damn it, Snell did get that last K." But yeah, and I've said this. If you guys are following me, I am riding Vladdy blindly. That sounds creepy. Over 1.5 bases. It does not make any sense that he's been even money or plus money to go over 1.5 bases. He's done it in every single game. He has a OPS over 1.3. For people that aren't familiar with OPS, it's on base percentage plus slugging. The fact that it's that high either means he's getting on base so much or he's hitting so many extra base hits that it's playing out. And he does. He homers, he doubles, he gets multiple hits in games. He hasn't been given the Ohtani treatment yet where they're just walking him every time, even though, no matter how you slice it, Vlad Guerrero's been the best hitter in the postseason and not close. And Ohtani's been great, but it's not close from how good Vlad Guerrero's been. Just unreal. So if you're a Toronto fan, I know you're hoping for their sake, they got to get it done in Game 6 because the Game 7 pitching situation is horrendous for them, in my opinion. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Some of the other things to point out, my big-time play on the Ravens game was the over. I told anybody that would listen to me, Derrick Henry over rushing yards. I feel like you could ladder that. Isaiah Likely over receiving yards. And I think if you parlay the over with Henry, Likely, and the Ravens, it's 6-1. Maybe you can get a boost on one of your sites and get another 30%, 50%, whatever, and get a little bit extra in there. But I love that play. And I'm not one to sit here. Look, I can suggest parlays because I do like parlays, and I do like when I really love a slate, or if I feel like a same game parlay correlates really well together. I do it a ton in baseball. I call those lottery tickets when you're grabbing two guys to homer and the over. And I do that with a lot of Wrigley win games and other games where it's just hot and the ball's going to fly out of the yard. But this is one where I just feel like Lamar coming back. Lamar could have played on Sunday from what I was told, but he didn't like the idea of playing on Sunday and playing on the short week, and he would rather play in Florida in front of family, friends, and then get the extra 10 days off there and get ready for the Vikings when that happens. But the one thing I think happens tonight is I think Derrick Henry, I think that ladder's good. So I'm interested to see how it plays out and then come back tomorrow and see if I was right or wrong on this. But I feel really, really good about the play. In the NBA, I love the Spurs to beat up on the Heat. And I had the over in the Charlotte game. Guys, if you guys haven't been watching, I talk a lot about pace. You'll hear me start to bring up teams, but the Miami Heat play at the fastest pace in the league. The Charlotte Hornets are up near the top as well. And Orlando does not play as slow as they used to either. So there's a lot of teams that are playing really fast, and get ready for the totals to start. The 220s are going to be in the 230s, and the 230s are going to be in the 240s. It's slowly starts to happen now, and then it dies down towards the end of the season when teams are really trying to gear up and get ready for the playoffs. They start playing a little bit more defense. But, all right, let's just dive into these games. I think I was kind of going over. Oh, in the NHL, I like the Minnesota Wild. I like the over in the Tampa Bay game in the NHL. And I think that was kind of it. College football, I thought UTSA was a live dog. Like them more plus the points. Thought they could win outright, but I'd rather take them plus the points. Now, let's get to these games here real quick, and then I'm going to run through this, and then we'll be done and back this Friday to kind of record one for Saturday. We'll have a ton to talk about the college football slate. As I was mentioning before with college football, this weekend, if you'd have looked at this week at the beginning of the year, you would have been like, oh my God, there's so many great games. Some of those games we thought were going to be unbelievable really aren't all that great right now. Penn State and Ohio State, I don't know how you feel about that. We had a couple other teams that we thought would be ranked. Like, I think that Texas Vanderbilt game is way better than people think. And I think people are going to be on the wrong side of that one. I mean, I'll just talk about it now. I like Texas this weekend. I think Texas is a solid play. Team, fans and gamblers and everyone else, you have a bad loss, you look bad, or recency bias with a loss, and then all of a sudden they're done with you. And I think this is just one of those spots where go ahead and be done with them. I think Pavia is going to struggle with this Texas defense. I like Pavia under rush yards. And just before you start screaming, oh, that's stupid, don't forget, if you get sacked, you lose those yards for rush yards for quarterbacks. So I do think Texas gets after him and makes life miserable. Need Arch to step up on the other side, but I think that's very possible as well. All right, let's do this. 3 college football games. One of these I really like. That would be UNC Syracuse. I will have a premium play on that. But I'm going to give out the side. I like the total there. And I'll talk about these teams just a little bit. All right, so let's start off with the Dodgers and Blue Jays. The way they have it set up now, it's Yamamoto versus Gausman. Gausman. They called him everything here in Baltimore when he was here. Gausman. But he's turned himself into a really solid pitcher. And even in a game where Yamamoto outshined him on Saturday, I thought he pitched extremely well, and he probably deserved better. So we'll see how he matches up this time. They really need him. He's on full rest. They really need him to be the guy to just end it. Because if you start thinking about Game 7, how do you want to work your pitching staff? I mean, all hands on deck. Even Trey Savage will be available to come in and pitch an inning if it's a Game 7. Like, it doesn't matter if your arm falls off. We're trying to win a World Series at that point. But do you trust it? And I'm also thinking in a Game 7, I'm definitely going to take a look at that over because you have tired-ass arms. And I just go back to when Chicago played Cleveland. And it was the Aroldis Chapman, Andrew Miller back and forth, right, where they were just using those guys for 2 innings. And by the time we got to Game 6 and Game 7, those 2 guys who are 2 of the best relievers in all of baseball were getting their asses kicked. We've seen this happen a ton of times just because these guys get overused because they know their team needs them and they want to win a World Series. So it will be interesting to see if we get to a Game 7, which I would assume Max Scherzer would start. And like I said, I don't know that Gausman could be available, but he might tell the coach or manager, hey, I'm good. Give me an inning. Give me 2, whatever. But that's an all hands on deck. And in elimination games, you're going to be watching guys get pulled if they get in any trouble at all. So we'll have to see. I mean, I want to see how everything sets up, but I'm assuming Max Scherzer starts, Shane Bieber at some capacity. You know Louis Varland's going to pitch because I think he pitches on the days that they don't play. That guy's in every damn game. He was a failed starter in Minnesota and now a big-time bullpen piece for the Blue Jays. But with this game in specific, what I wanted to say was be careful with picking the side here and just going, I want a Game 7, so I think the Dodgers win. I am going to lean Dodgers in this spot just because of how good Yamamoto looked in the last game and knowing that the Dodgers will have a couple pieces behind him. They'll do whatever the hell they have to do. And then all those guys will be available. I'm sure you probably see Sasaki in this game as well for a couple innings. But we'll see. It depends how deep Yamamoto can go. I mean, he's already pitched 2 complete games in the postseason, and that's not the norm. That's usually, kind of an oddball thing that happens from time to time in this day and age in baseball. But I am going to lean towards the Dodgers. I'll have some prop plays ready. I am not betting the Dodgers, full disclosure. I will be betting the total, but I'm going to put that up on the premium side with a couple of free props like I have for every single game of the World Series. Still hitting over 70% there. It's been an incredible playoff run in baseball for me. All right, let's go to college football. So we have Memphis at Rice. The total here is 48.5, and my dumbass did not write down the spread because why would I? Why would I write down the spread when I'm going to talk about football games? Because it would make no sense. All right, so Memphis is 13.5 on FanDuel currently. So I'll write that down so I have that for the notes. But when you look at this, I mean, it's another one of those spots where it's like, okay, we get a good team going on the road to face a bad team. And I'm not trying to sound redundant. I'm not trying to be one of these guys talking out of both sides of his mouth. But, we get the games where it turns into total blowouts because Memphis is 7-1, Rice is 4-4. Man, am I really going to do this? Like, I worry about Rice being able to stay up with Memphis and keep up, but I do think there is that chance that they play up to snuff and slow the game down. I think the under is probably the right play at 48.5. If you force me to pick the side, I'd probably take Rice plus the points, but I'm almost one of those guys, if you force me to pick and I don't like the game, I'm probably going to take the dog. That's how, and it's not a foregone conclusion. Like if I have one way I'm leaning and I don't like something, I will bring it up and say, hey, I do like the favorite here. It's not like I'm just going to be fading chalk. Chalk hits sometimes. There's a reason why it's chalk. It's because everybody thinks it's good. But yeah, I would say the under would be my lean here. Let's talk UNC at Syracuse. Syracuse favored by 2.5. The total's 45.5. And, as I said, I'm going to have a premium on the total here. I'm going to talk about the sides. I've watched Syracuse a couple times now. I had a big play on Georgia Tech against them. Talked about Haynes King going over his rushing prop, and he ran, I think he had 5 total touchdowns in the game, 2 rushing, 3 passing. He was damn near 100 yards or over 100 yards rushing. He always looks good rushing the football. So Syracuse got a good taste of that and a heavy dose of the running game and beat up pretty good on the ground. But the one thing I've noticed about Syracuse since their quarterback went down is their backup is just horrendous. And in this spot, I don't know that I can sit here and bet on Syracuse. And I know what people are saying is, you want to bet on that mess in UNC? I think as the season goes along, UNC's defense will get better under Bill Belichick. Yeah, there's a lot of distractions down there, and it's a team that I typically don't like betting on. But I would take UNC plus the points here, figuring not only that they cover the 2.5, but I think they win outright, So I do think this is a close game. And if you can find it at 3, if you can get 3 in the hook, yeah, obviously you'd like it way better. I'm not going to pay a huge price to push it to 3.5 because I think UNC wins outright. All right, let's get to the last game here. Sam Houston State at Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech is minus 16. Total here also 48.5. And so talking about these two teams is funny because Sam Houston State is just the pits. I mean, Stink called and said they stink. They are so bad. And when is it that they catch somebody? It's not going to be in this game. Louisiana Tech is solid, not spectacular, and there's a reason why a 4-3 team is favored by 16 points here. Sam Houston State hasn't won. Let me rattle off some of their scores because they are dreadful. How about playing UTEP and losing by 18, 35-17? They lost by 2 to Jacksonville State. New Mexico State beat them by 27. Texas blew them out 55-0. You know, no harm, no foul. You're losing to a much, much better team. And in Hawaii, beat them 37-20. I mean, look, they're 0-7 on the season. And it's not like if you want to talk about Louisiana Tech. So I'm not doing the knee bones connected to the tail, all that stuff with this because people like to do that team beat that team and that team beat that team. So it means this team can beat that team. Hopefully I'm making sense to anyone out there. But yeah, so when they played New Mexico State, Louisiana Tech won 49-14. When Sam Houston played them, and granted, all right, to be fair, Louisiana Tech was home. Sam Houston was on the road, but they lost by 27 to a team that they beat by 35. I don't know that I'm going to be betting this game, full disclosure. I do think Louisiana Tech is the right side at minus 16. I hate betting big numbers. It's hard to get away from it with how bad Sam Houston State is. They did play some teams close. Is there a chance they're starting to figure some things out and make games tighter? Of course. Do I think that's what's going on? No. So I would take Louisiana Tech here as my free play. So, all right, guys, check out the premium side. I have all my football and college football picks up. I'll be adding as it goes on. If I start to like some props, I'll start adding those in for free alongside the games that they correlate with. Like, I'm not going to have a play on the Bears-Washington game and then throw in a prop from Seattle. I'll throw in a prop from the Bears-Washington game if that's what I like. I actually like Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Bill, whatever you want to call him. I like him over his rushing yards in that game. I already know that. It's a very low number, and I know he hasn't been all that spectacular the past couple games, but it is a home game against a team that's traveled quite a bit to get here, and play them in D.C. So check out the premium side. All my NFL plays are up. I've said this before. If you're buying on a Friday or if you're buying on a Saturday, get the 3-day pass. You get Friday, Saturday, Sunday instead of paying more money for other picks. And again, the 3-day pass, what is it, $79.99, I think? I think it is for me, and I don't know about some of the other guys, but I just think it's the best bang for your buck if you're going to buy plays. But appreciate you guys watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast. Hope you win some cash.